He's a 5th degree. He's blind. He owns his own school and teaches. He's the drummer for their church. It's like, you can sit here and be a victim and say, I'm blind, I can't do this. There's no way I can do martial arts.
Right.
But I mean, there's people definitively proving you wrong.
Yeah.
And when you were doing jujitsu with him, like, he would limit himself. This is the only move I'm allowed to tap you out with. You're free to do anything, but this is the only thing I'm allowed.
Yeah.
He'd still tap you out every time.
Right.
Like, restrictions, necessity is the mother of all invention, right? Like, in many times when we have those constraints, we perform better. So you can choose to let it stop you, or you can overcome it.
Right. And I mean, I think that's the focal point. And I mean, it's really everything I do behind So Good. It's not that I honestly care so much about being benevolent and making sure I'm giving back. Because I think there's individuals that are like, oh, I would feel guilty. I want to give back. It's that it's everything. The saying, it's more blessed to give than receive, means that the happiness comes in the taking control of the situation and owning it and getting through. And so for me, it's not like, I think there's so many times you're like, don't be the victim. They're like, well, that's easy for you to say because you don't have the things. And I'm like, no, the reason is because it's the only thing that's going to make you happy. It's the only thing that's keeping you right where you are.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to say that. I'm just like, I want to just grab you and hug you and say, the reason that it doesn't seem to work out, it's because you think that everything is just kind of happening to you, and you were just letting it. And like, well, what else can I be? Look at all these things. Like, I was born blind and I was this and I was that. I'm like, yes, those are all things that have come in your path. But your attitude and your ability to overcome is the key.
Yeah.
And it's the key to all of your happiness. And then we see people, like an Elon Musk that go out and do that. And then people are kind of frustrated. Like, oh, look at them with all their stuff. And I get it. There's billionaires and it's like, all right, like, why don't we, there's this kind of idea like share it. And I'm like, yeah, but the value comes in working for it. And that's why, unfortunately, that social program ends up failing, because the work is where the value is.
Teach a man to fish, not give him fish.
Yeah. And so again, it's like, it's what I struggle with so much, because I see individuals that are like just frustrated. And it's like, what if you came with me and, I run this nonprofit So Good, and we go around and we give a free turkey to different families. And they're like, well, I just don't feel like I can do that because I don't have anything to give, and I don't want to spend time doing something when I don't even feel like going outside, right? Like I've been laid off, or I've, all these bad things are happening to me. And I was like, a couple of things. One, you're going to see that your situation is actually better than most, if you can get out there. I go to St. Al's and St. Luke's, and I go to pediatric oncology, and I see parents with kids that are 4 and 5 with just a few weeks to live. You walk through there and you're like, oh, it could be much worse. And I don't want to do that either. Just go look at everyone and just be like, hey, you've got a bad situation. It could be worse. That kind of negates that you are in a bad situation. Yes, there's somebody that's worse, but your situation now is bad. Like, if you're hungry, I'm not going to say, hey, there's people starving in Africa. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't help you.
Yeah.
But going and seeing it maybe will make you realize that one, there are other people that are struggling. 2, that it might be worse. But 3, as you begin to give, as you begin to help someone, you begin to feel that thing that, like, I can actually do this. I can help people. And you get out by helping. And so that's what I'm passionate about with So Good. That's what I'm passionate about, is that when something bad happens, the idea that, like, oh, I'm like a victim. And I think about 9/11, and people will say this phrase all the time. that was when America was great. And I think, that was when America was great? 2 smoking towers, and you look back at that as like the height of American, popular things. And it's like, well, why? It's like, because we all got together and we were like doing stuff. And it's like, that's interesting. That's negative thing made you push to, make it great, and everyone wanted to do something and everyone wanted to help. And so what I've tried to do is, without those bad things that's happened, go around and say, hey, just come with me. And I'm giving you an opportunity with So Good to work at the food bank. And then they come and they're like, oh, I had no idea this entire infrastructure was here to help people. And now my situation doesn't look as bad, and I'm giving, which makes me feel good about myself, which makes me go, you know what? Maybe I will go tomorrow and look for a job. Maybe I will update my resume because I'm starting to feel good about myself. And so for me, all of this is wrapped up in the reason I feel like we have so much victimization is because we have it so good. And back in maybe 1776, you didn't have the fallback that we do, like social programs. So there wasn't a lot of victimhood because you just really did. That wasn't something we had. No. That wasn't something that was there. And now that we have those social programs, now that we have that, it's not doing anyone any good to be that victim. And I know that sounds calloused. It's like, again, I want to be so respectful. It's like, if you're on those social programs, I understand that life can be tough, but if you don't take ownership of where you are and try to make things better, you end up staying there.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he mentioned something that I really liked, and I forget the exact wording, but it's something to the effect of, there's no difference between thinking of yourself and being miserable. Like, right. So when you turn your focus out of you onto other people, so go to that food bank and help other people, you're turning the focus off of yourself.
Absolutely.
You're less miserable.
Right.
And I think that's something people don't realize. It's not even just that it's go see how much worse it could be for you. It's
right.
Take the focus off yourself entirely.
Right.
Go focus on someone else for a minute.
Absolutely.
Focus on your kids. Do something together.
And you hit on the absolute key. I mean, we talk about mental health and we say, I'm really struggling mentally. I have, anxiety, and I have imposter syndrome. And I say, well, if you came to the food bank for 3 hours, I'm not saying that all of that will go away. But guess what? For 3 hours, you don't think about it. Mm-hmm. And at the end, you've had a reprieve. And they're like, that's interesting. And I'm like, I'm telling you, if nothing more, so like you said, it's like a two-pronged. One, well, it's like three. One, you are seeing that there are people, less fortunate than yourself. Let's just say that's just a small piece of it. Two, we know that there is a more blessed to give than receive. So you're going to get a benefit inside from the work that you're doing. And three, which is just a crazy byproduct, you take the focus off yourself so that your brain can have some peace for a while, right? It's like going for a walk. It's like doing something. It's like those activities that you do. You're like, oh, I go do something. Like I'll go hunting or fishing. And then I'm like, oh, I feel better. Well, yeah, because your brain will just, like work on that situation. Like you've lost your job, you're this, you're, imposter syndrome that we brought, that anxiety, like what am I going to pay for tomorrow? And people will say to me like, I owe this bill tomorrow. How is going to the food bank going to help that? And I'm like, you're right. Like, I know it doesn't make any sense. It goes against the logic. It's like, shouldn't I be focusing on me? Shouldn't I be sitting here thinking about my situation? But like, how are you going to think yourself out of this depression? How are you going to sit there and focus on that, and that somehow that focus is going to make it better? Don't you think maybe even if we even if we got back and the anxiety was just the same, at least it's not worse, just taking that reprieve. And so again, that's something I've been very passionate about with doing stuff with So Good. Is it's almost like my sneak attack to help you. You don't even know it's happening. I say, hey, come to the food bank for 2 hours. And they're like, you know what? That's not a bad idea.